Alright, welcome back. Very quick pause that we needed to make. So, we are going to wrap up coverage here, and then we will likely return to weather scan. So what we were doing just before we left the air temporarily is we are looking through the complete list here and seeing if we can add any more stations to our iPaws test schedule. So nothing. So there's nothing here that carries iPaws. So I'm looking through all of them, watching for anything that says RWT iPaws NWS, and then these are the ones we're gonna try and confirm next Monday, along with KTXK, because we're already familiar with all that, aren't we? We're actually gonna go up and down the country. That's what we're gonna do. We obviously know these aren't iPaws. These aren't iPaws, obviously. These don't carry it. This doesn't. There are very few stations out there that carry the iPaws test, so it's like a 50-50. So it's like a very minimal chance you'll come across a station that relays iPaws tests as they are sent out. Wichita, yeah, very identical story. So yeah, very identical story right here. This is the other cluster we were just in. These have a delay. These don't carry iPaws at all. This doesn't carry it. These all don't carry iPaws. These all don't. So, and then this is a cluster we were just in. These don't carry it. These don't carry it. Nobody here carries it. These don't carry it. We already looked at Bismarck, so let's just go to the other side of the state now. And as we've already identified, none of these stations here carry the iPaws. What was that song? Yeah, not exciting. This doesn't carry it. I think there aren't any in Topeka that carries the iPaws. Nothing. There are very few stations out here that carry the iPaws weekly. There are very few stations here that carry the iPaws test. There are very few. The entire Lincoln cluster doesn't. All of Omaha doesn't even do it. This doesn't do it either. These don't carry it. Those don't carry monthlies from Iowa. These don't carry any iPaws related stuff. Geez, tornado warning, it's observed. Now these all don't carry the iPaws test. Nothing here does. Let's see if I go up and down the list here, we'll see. No, nothing. None of these carry it. Even going through and looking up and down the list, there's still no sign of any iPaws. This doesn't say iPaws. These don't carry it. Fargo does not carry iPaws. So none of those stations all carry the iPaws test. So I'm looking up and down the country here, seeing if there's any stations I can find that carry an iPaws weekly. I mean, it's a very minimal chance you'll be able to find one. We even looked through Tulsa, it's the same story. Now, very interesting, KSFA and KISR. Let's go back to the bottom of the state. These all don't carry it. Nothing here carries it. Now we'll actually have a lot more central iPod stations to play around with, so now as we've already found out, all these are not streamers. There are no stations there that carry it. This doesn't even carry it. None of those carry the iPods. There are a lot of stations here that don't. A lot of stations across the country don't even carry iPods. Because they made it optional. KAFN carries the central iPods. KAFN carries the central iPods test. Nobody else carries it. Nobody else in the state carries it. We'll go up to Springfield now. Yeah, you can tell a lot of these don't even carry. Even elsewhere, oh, looks like they've updated this to. Oh, it's been the same. A lot of these don't carry. I need to start getting back into the mood with KIOW. That's what I eventually will start doing. WFNU carries the Chanhassen test. WFNU carries the Chanhassen test. And apparently they carry the Chanhassen test. Very interesting. Nobody else in Minnesota carries the test. This is screwed up for whatever reason.
1-4.
And looking through, very interesting. KALA carries the Quad Cities test. So those guys carry the. Do they work? We'll see if those take it. We'll see if those take the the Quad Cities test next Wednesday. There's no iPod stuff in here. Those don't do it. Those don't do it. So the entire Paducah cluster doesn't do it. Let's go to the other side now. You obviously know these don't carry it. None of those do. Now here's WOKK. I did try this one once, but it didn't go. So I'm assuming they either no longer carry the iPOS test. I'm assuming they no longer carry it. Nobody else carries it in Mississippi. This is the last area to check. Those all don't carry it. Mobile does not carry it. Those don't carry the iPOS test.
So next,
none of these over here carry it, which is interesting. Well, look at this. WCRL carries both IFAWs and NWR. We could try that one tomorrow. WCRL carries the Central IFAWs, RWT, and BMX NWR. So apparently that thing carries both the Birmingham test and the IPAWS test. You know what? We'll try that for the Birmingham test tomorrow. We'll give it a try. And then other than the usual WJOU carrying KH20, there have been no other changes or adjustments made. So there's been no other changes in this area. These is our test only. This only gets severe weather alerts. Oh look, WMSR.
Yeah, it was good.
WMSR does the OHX test. So apparently they carry the Nashville test. We will find out next Wednesday. We're going to find out on Wednesday. Oh look, WEN and WLCT. Now let me see. So these two here carry IPAWS tests, and they both work. Oh, that's the wrong cluster I was looking at. Yeah, right here. So let me see what cluster they. Let me see what test they pull. Let's see, where does Tennessee fall? All of Tennessee, all of Texas. I believe it falls. Wait, hold on a moment. We don't have to check. We could just go back on my central IPAWS test message and listen for the states. Where is it? Where did I call it? Yes, here we go. That's gonna be a lot of stations to try. Oh nope, it's not gonna go off on here. It's gonna be KCAC. So that's interesting. Does any other stations here carry the IPAWS? Oh, I hear it. Yeah, I hear it. So those don't carry it. Let's try in Nashville. None of these carry it. This is a TV stream, which is test only. These are test only. WHAS pulls Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. What's this one? Oh, that's Nashville's, Louisville's TV network. No other stations here pull it. Let's go to the next state over. We have to look for IPAWS, NWS, or IPAWS/NWS in any of the criterias that we find. That was a very silent relay. I didn't... It was up all the way and I never even heard it. Nobody here carries it. Nobody here carries it. Nobody here carries it. Nobody here carries it. This is test only. Obviously we know that one of these does not... The IPAWS test does not happen. This one we've confirmed is not a streamer, so none of those carry IPAWS. These don't. Go up to the top of the state. Very similar story. But these here relay severe thunder marine warnings. We could use this for the Eastern Upper Peninsula test at a later point. Let's just go to the next state. These don't carry it. None of these stations do. These don't. Let's go through Wisconsin now. Let's see. Imagine suddenly someday one of Chicago's stations begins permanently pulling iPaws, starts to pull iPaws and makes that a permanent thing. Gee, I wonder. Apparently these two relay civil originated shelter-in-place warnings. Of course, now let's see. I don't think anything here carries iPaws. Yeah, what a shame. Nobody here in my state carries iPaws tests. Those don't carry iPaws. These do not. These don't. Oh gosh. None of these carry it. These don't carry it. These are all clusters we were just in. Let's see, there's any. This one carries. This one says it carries NWR tests, but it appears this one also carries iPaws tests too, so they have to update that. WDDQ also carries NWR.
You want to get ahead, you got to roll up your sleeves and get ready and really work hard. The Democrats do believe in it. And if you work hard, play by the rules, you'll be able to do better than this man. But that's the American dream. It's a generational advance. And we don't.
Alright. WCAH carries the FFC NWR test. That one's we've been familiar with that for some time. These don't carry anything anymore, because that hasn't been changed. These don't carry anything. Why don't we play the error?
Warning! This stream link is obsolete and may be removed at any time. Please contact Emma for an updated streaming link. Thank you.
Thank you. And one of the most fitting endings ever. Anybody here carry? Ah, they all don't carry iPaws? How sad. Well, folks, I just identified very few stations in each of these states relay iPaws tests. Let's see if these,
Here in Illinois,
No iPause here, no iPause, no iPause. Hey, these carry it? They do not. These all don't carry iPause. None of these do. Wow. As we found out, none of these here do it.
Uprex.org.
These don't do it. WAIF pulls NWR. Okay, up to the top.
Thank you for tuning in to the WMobile Gold Country Stream, presented exclusively by Nick Abraham Auto Mall in Elyria.
At Nick Abraham Auto Mall, we make it that easy.
That's an interesting opening. But we're here to look for any iPause stations that carry iPause tests, so we can add to our iPause library for next week. But as I saw earlier, when we got to North Carolina, this is what actually got very interesting. And you'll see what I mean. WRKE is not on here. And I think it was around here where I discovered it. No, it wasn't. No, I think it was somewhere back in the Raleigh cluster. But we're about to go in here anyway. Now, it was actually around here I discovered it. It's all the way down here. Look at this. WHBK. It does not work, but I will find it. So that carries the NWR test. No, those carry it. And then if we go into the Wilmington. Now I've actually recently confirmed this, so remember I used that for the South Carolina earthquake drill a couple weeks ago. As we found out, none of these carry I'm only including new ones. Already existing ones that we have are not being mentioned. Let's go up to the state of Virginia. Now, WSVS actually is a streamer, but they no longer carry these two no longer carry the iPause test, as we've recently confirmed. All these don't carry iPause. Looks like somebody was late in posting the Wilmington test. Yeah, somebody was very late in posting the Wilmington test, like 2 days late. Dang. Now, there are no other iPause tests that I know of that I can confirm. These three pull Ohio and West Virginia.
Less than 2 hours after the mass shooting on July 4th in Highland Park, this is what Darren Bailey had to say.
Let's move on, let's celebrate.
We can't ignore Darren Bailey's dangerous views on guns. Darren Bailey opposes all gun safety measures. All of them. He'd also delete background checks on firearm licenses and do more. Illinois, it's time to move on from Darren Bailey. Paid for by JD for Governor.
So these all don't carry anything here. Yeah, I think we've gone through every single cluster. These don't carry any iPods. These don't. These all carry North Country, so I'll probably do those too if I feel like it.
Thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 6 miles south of Gravel Hill Beach near Sylvania, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to roofs, siding, some trees. Locations impacted include Cabot, Cerri, Lone Oak, Augusta, Sarge, Beebe, Ward, Baldwin, Austin in Roanoke County, Judsonia, Kensington, Dickinson, Patterson, Russell, West Point, Tupelo, Old Austin, Cross.
Says WDDE also relays IPAWS tests. So WDDE relays the East Coast IPAWS test. So I'll do that next week. With that note, but I want to see if it works first. It does not, so I'm going to have to find an independent link for it. So yeah, that appears to be everything. Alright. And there we go. Watch number 564 was just issued, and it is now in effect, but we do not have any station to get this on, so unfortunately we cannot get it, but that's alright. So, from that list that I just shared, made, that goes to show how large of a list of IPAWS tests it really is. Springfield is done. Memphis is just now getting started. Alright, let's try that Louisiana station again.
Already zooming up the charts.
Do they have a delay or something? I think they do. Yeah, no.
Until 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time for North Central and Northwest Louisiana.
So unfortunately we don't have any stations there. Other than these counties, we don't have any other choice. Here come the next risks. Alright, so now we're going to wrap this compilation up. I'm actually going to let it run until tomorrow morning. It was this one right here. There we go. So now we are down to the final. Now we are down to the last stations, to the final moments of this. So now that list that we just created here, this list of stations here, I'll actually try for all those throughout the course of this week. And actually, I'm actually going to try this one tomorrow, WCRL. They carried the Central Eyefall test, and they actually carried the Birmingham test on WNG 606. So we'll actually give that station a try. So we kind of unofficially have a fourth Birmingham station joining us for the test. I mean, remember last week we had Winfield, but now this week we have WCRL coming in and joining us. So yeah, we'll see how long it takes, because now these Air Ones are official. Because now both EMFs are approaching day 4, which is going to be their due date, which will be their due date for their next test. So yeah, we'll be officially at their due date for the next tests. Yeah, we'll be officially at their due dates for the next weekly, as the compilation I have going right now approaches 4 hours. Alright, so we're going to take one final look at the radar. I guess it makes sense where they actually put the where they actually put the watch down. So like I say, they made a really good decision when it came to that. Alright, so that means we're officially down to 4 offices, which means we are now in the final stages of this severe weather event. Yeah, we are actually now in the final stages of tonight's event. Man, it was terrible. Man, it was quite an intense event, and I gotta say the SPC actually did a really good job putting that marginal down. They did a really good job putting down that marginal. So yeah, we are now officially, so yeah, as I just said, for those just joining us, we're going to have the WXRT Weekly in a few minutes, as we now enter the final stages of tonight's severe weather event. So it's moving out of Little Rock and getting ready to head into Memphis. So it's getting ready to head into Memphis now. So I'll let you all watch as the clock strikes midnight. Welcome to Saturday, the last day of Central Daylight Time before we roll the clocks back. Alright, we got WXRT ready. We're probably not going to have too many more opportunities getting all the severe weather stuff, so we might go ahead and just send it back to WeatherScan after this, and then do my best to get myself up for WJFK. And there we go. Watch number 562, I think that was it 561? Let me see if I got this right. 560 ran until 8. 561 ran until midnight. 562 is just canceled. 563 is running until 4. SBA 564 is running till 4 a.m. as well. So yeah, tornado watch number 561 has expired. Yep, number 561 has expired. Boy, it was quite an event today, wasn't it? With 5 watches in the process. So I gotta say the Storm Prediction Center did a really good job on this. And I don't remember them releasing the Day 2 Convective Outlook this early. Oh, maybe they've already gotten the clocks rolled back, I think. Oh, maybe they've already gotten the clocks rolled back. Good for warship. Listener supported Air 1. There's one for Union, Arkansas. And I'm not going to stop it this time. I'm actually just going to leave it alone and let it go. I'm actually not going to touch it this time. I'm just going to leave it alone and let it go. So since next week will be the first Monday of the month, why don't we go ahead and add some new iPod stations to the list? I'm excited about adding. I'm really excited about adding these new stations. Is it done? It's still going. It's so quiet, you have to literally put the speaker at full blast and you literally have to put it up to your ear to hear it. That's how quiet it is. That is how quiet it is. It is incredible. Alright, time for the WXRT test.
WLIT.
Ah, there we go. Now let's go ahead and upload the So I think that's about all at this point. Because I don't really expect much more. I don't really expect much more out of this after everything we have so far. I really want to get these Jacksonville PBS weeklies too. It's been since January that WX Radio last caught a weekly off of that station. At the time that they usually do it, so. So yeah, we are just about done here. And as much as I would like to get that, they don't tone it, so no, we can't get that one. But what I can tell you is that since the alert traffic is beginning to slow down, since the amount of alert traffic is beginning to slow down, we have reached the final stage of the severe weather event, in which we will now conclude our severe weather live coverage here on Plainfield TV. It actually lasted the entire day, which honestly I was shocked at how long this event lasted. So, I mean, even for November, this is something Mother Nature doesn't mess around with. Even if this event doesn't last as long as you think. So, if we look at the risks for, oh, that's right, I still had everything selected. Why did I have everything selected? Tribal. So here's the valid day 1. That's the risk we're going to continue dealing with in the overnight hours. So that's the risk that we're still dealing with right now. We're almost done. So, and then here is tomorrow's marginal risk. Until it's just in this little area. There's New Orleans and Mobile and a little bit of Jackson. But nothing else too much to be expected in that risk. So, we will not have anything else. We won't have anything else exciting that day. Day 2 and day 3 all look very quiet, so no severe weather. Well, no severe weather, but we will have a special program on Tuesday for the monthly test, since I will be home for them all. Well, I guess so, since a lot of people are going to be home for them all. Because of course which explains the text message I received earlier. Which explains the text message I received earlier during the show. Yeah, earlier on during our coverage of this event. So as the event begins to reach the final, as the event reaches the final phase, we'll get ready to head back to Weather Scan. This event's gonna hit this compilation's gonna hit 4 hours on the dot. I just know it. Yeah. Nearly 4 hours. And if the next alert I get, that's going to hit the 4 hour mark. It's gonna be crazy. So far nothing much has happened in Lake Charles until here. Yeah, really. So the weekend is here in Chicago. The weekend is here it's already here on the Eastern Seaboard. So yeah, through that iPause list, I can't wait to do all the stations next week. That is something I'm looking forward to, doing all those iPause stations for the Eastern Seaboard and whatnot. So that's the one thing I'm looking forward to. Next Monday. Can't wait to do all that. Get the organ. Get a bunch of other iPause tests to go along with it. Yeah, that's new creation. So yeah, this event is over basically. Well, it's not really. I wouldn't really say it's over because this watch is because watch 564 is brand new. So it isn't really over just yet. I mean, we're in the but I'm going to say that we're in the final stages of this event. So what I'm saying here is we're in the final phase. We're in the final phase of this severe weather event. The weakening of this line, and and whatnot. But if we look at what Tornado Watch 563 had to offer, tornadoes were moderate and EF2 plus is low, so yeah, it has started, so that line had started to diminish. This is for one other edge of the line. Again, here severe winds remain moderate. So it's just, so this watch is just confined to the Memphis area. Although there will not be any stations that we can get this on, so I would formally cross, oh yeah, that's right, everything but KASU. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's starting to relay stuff. Even though Lawrence County's in a tornado watch, but soon KASU will start to relay some stuff. But I'm gonna say otherwise that this severe weather event is over. But man, it was quite a day. And look, we finally get to show Nani on screen after the whole day. Finally, the whole time. I mean, he was just right behind the IEM window the whole time, wondering how everything was like, what was going on with all this stuff in the background. So, I'm not sure how to end this broadcast because we literally only did weather scan for an hour and then the rest of the day was coverage. That's really what it was today. But this is what I did to the Air 1 pre-roll.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is a test of the emergency alert system.
Air 1. Warship now. This is a test of the emergency alert system. That's Good Morning Mercy, I can tell. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now officially in day 4. We are now officially in day 4 of both EMFs. Let's see what they do. If they both wait till day 5. But I mean, they both tested on the same day, so this is the second time they did it. Well, last time was 6 hours apart, but this is the that was the second time. This time only 3 minutes apart, so that's a new record. If they're both instant, if they both go at the same time, there is absolutely no way that record is going to get beaten. So the only thing we just do now is wait for both the EMFs to test. I have a good feeling that Caleb is probably going to test. But you know, I think this should be pretty easy. So what I plan on doing is I'm just going to take my lacrosse, have that tuned to it's already on Chicago's Air 1, so it should be good. And then I'll just have my phone on the Philadelphia receiver, and I'll have it on K-Love. And I'll have it on K-Love, and when that happens, then I'll switch it over to the K-Love stream, and I'll get the test. And I'll use my iPad to get the K-Love test on there. Or I can just use the camera, because why not? Oh, 1:10 a.m., yeah. Starting to ignore stuff now. So yeah, we're nearly, so as I just said, we're nearly done with this event. And we will return to weather scans soon.
Worship now.
Just saying now.
This is a test of the emergency alert system.
Oh, great. Now. This is a test of the emergency alert system. Now, this is a test of the emergency alert system. Like this. Oh yeah, like this. With echoing. Alright, here we go again. And on here, they're instant. KJLO is instant. Another good one. Oh, for frick's sake. We have just finished that. This thing's gonna hit 4 hours. thing is so long. Let me see if I'm able to render it. Oh yeah, I'm still able to render this thing.
So let's worship positive, encouraging music. Hey,
I like it at that low pitch too. Oh my god, there's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way this is going to fit on Gage's tablets. No way. And here comes the first warning from Memphis. I see WeatherPro is using KJLO too. I see WeatherPro is using KJLO as well. I suppose this is like WeatherPro's quiet hours. I guess I could call it his quiet hours. Or his blackout hours, I should say. Blackout. Yeah, I call it blackout hours. I call this his blackout hours.
For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 1:30 a.m. Central.
I could kind of call this his blackout hours. Now look at that. Caleb always plays good songs as I leave. This thing is so long. Oh my god, there is no way this thing's gonna fit on Gage's tablet. Absolutely not. There is absolutely no way this thing's gonna fit on Gage's tablet. There is absolutely no way that thing's gonna fit on Gage's tablet. A lot longer than I thought it was going to end up. This is crazy. But thank goodness we're in the final stages of this thing. But thank goodness we're in the final stage. We're in the final stages. Let's see what it's like this. Not gonna try it. But there's now this one song that's grabbing my attention the most. But now there's this one song that's starting to grab my attention now. It's basically a stop motion animation of driving down 355 south. It's a stop motion animation of driving south on I-355 from 355 from Schaumburg to Belmont. Southbound 355 from Schaumburg to Belmont, Downers Grove. And the song that's in it is really grabbing my attention. It's like a remix of some Shakespeare, because the title of the song is literally a Shakespeare. It just sounds so good. And that's where it ends. That's where it ends, near a railroad crossing, which does not exist anymore. I'll see if I can record the entire song and then add it to my radio station. This will actually be a future update to my radio station. Alright, so I've just scheduled a reminder for everybody of our Christmas station sign-on. So our Christmas station will launch So our Christmas station will go on the air tomorrow. This just sounds so good I can't stop listening to it. That song just sounds so good that I can't really stop listening to it. On here, one, push it down. And now it's Ryan Ellis who wants to join in. So once again, the severe weather event is nearing the finish line. We'll stay in the air, we'll get the WJFK test, and then we'll be done for the night. So perfectly left. So I wouldn't be surprised if anything expires, if any of the alerts expire concerning Tornado Watch 563. Isolated wind damage and perhaps a brief weak tornado will remain possible over the next couple hours. That also kind of partially applies to severe thunderstorm watch number 564, so I guess there's two things where this would make perfect sense to go in. So yeah, it kind of makes perfect sense where this goes in. Oh look, there's the number 3 song on the list, Build a Boat. That's wonderful. So yeah, literally the whole day today has been covered. So why don't we go ahead and spend the yeah, never mind. Long time no see. Well, what a crazy response. So yeah, at this point, pretty much the alert traffic is starting to slow down, so there is not really a reason to continue anymore. So, considering that this is the case, we now, oh that's right, we're not leaving the air just yet, so I don't want to say it because we don't usually use that line today. Anyway, what I was going to say is we now conclude severe weather coverage here on Plainfield TV, and we will now return, and we will now finally do weather scan again, and again, as new warnings get issued, we'll bring you those as soon as we can. So we thank you for joining us for severe weather live coverage today. Before we go, I want to make a few quick programming notes. I won't be able to be on the air for the Birmingham test, but I will actually I'll actually remote to the computer to actually get it. Hopefully I don't forget, because that would be a bummer if I did. So it'll be those 3 stations plus that new one. And the tornado watch from Jackson was just expanded. Yeah, none of those 2 watches. So again, as I just said, we now end severe weather coverage. Again, let me make a programming note for tomorrow. So we will not be on air tomorrow for the Saturday tests, but I will still get them. I will actually still try to run my weekly, or still try to run our weekly tomorrow. Kind of like I did last week, where I was able to remote to the computer to actually run the test. And I will actually do the same thing tomorrow I'll actually do the exact same thing tomorrow. If I hopefully should. Next then, as I said, we'll probably be gone for a while. So, if all goes according to plan, we are expected to start at, we are expected to come back at 7 p.m. and hopefully in time for Game 6 of the World Series, featuring the Astros and the Phillies and the Blackhawks going against anyway, as I was saying, if all goes according to plan, I mean, we are going to be gone for like the entire day. But if we are back by 7, we should be able to broadcast the entirety of the Blackhawks game. Oh wait, that's right, the Blackhawks play in the afternoon. I forgot. So we won't be able to broadcast that, but if I do get home in time, we should be able to bring you the Wheel of Luck, and then we'll bring you our postponed edition of Friday Fun Night, which we were not able to do today. We were not able to do the Friday Fun Night this evening because of the severe weather event. So considering that that's the case, so with that being considered, we've moved we moved the Friday Fun Night to Saturday. So we're gonna do a shortened Friday Fun Day segment. So depending on whether we can broadcast Game 6 of the World Series or not, it all depends. If we can't, then that's okay. So we're gonna do a shortened. So because we've had to postpone the show, we're gonna do a shortened segment. We're only gonna do 5 games. We're not gonna do like 6 or 10 of them like we usually do. We're still going to do the Wheel of Luck as usual. We're still going to do the Wheel of Luck. Yeah, we're going to do the Wheel of Luck first, and then we're going to play those 5 games, and then that'll be it. Then we'll leave the air for a little bit. We'll come back, we'll do weather scan, and then of course we'll do the Sunday automated tests. So of course we'll get those on air for you all. This one's been a part of K-Love for a little bit of time. Now, a little note for the Sunday tests, because we're going back an hour, things are going to change for Sunday's tests. So, it's actually going to be an extra hour of no weekly. So after WBO's test, there will be an extra hour of no other tests. So that means an extra hour of no auto weeklies. So it's basically going to be WBOO, then KFTI WBOO as usual, an hour of no other tests, and then another hour at 1 a.m. where would normally be another test. But no, that is not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That hour is going to be nothing. Yeah, that hour will actually be nothing. And then the hour after, that is when the Sunday cycle resumes. So there will be a brief pause. So for an hour or so, that cycle is going to pause. So the cycle is going to stop. So yeah, after the KFTI test, the cycle is going to stop. And then once our clock rolls back, then once our clock rolls back, the whole cycle is going to, and then the whole cycle will resume. And then we'll basically continue from where we left off. Then we'll continue from where we left off. There, and we'll go on as usual. So that's the only difference with the Sunday test, and I'm sure you'll notice the difference when the Guam IPAWS test happens at 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. respectively. So I'm going to start posting the Guam IPAWS separately. So once again, I'm going to post the Guam IPAWS separately and KDKA separately as usual. The auto weeklies overnight will be posted as its own compilation, as it has been, and the IPAWS test will also be going up as its own thing, again, as usual, with new updated times. Again, but now with new and updated times. And I'll try going for the Puerto Rico test as well. And also, I should get rid of KBTO from the automation if I haven't done so already. Yep, there we go. That's gone. That didn't take that long at all. Alright, so that's really the important programming note that I wanted to make. So now we're going to go ahead and return you to weather scan. And so with all that said, we're going to go ahead and return you. We're going to go ahead and start weather scan. Have a great night, and we will see you. And then we will see you tomorrow night for the postponed Fun Night program and the sign-on of Plainfield Christmas. Bye.